Hi guys, welcome back to my class. I'm your Korean teacher, Emma. In the previous class, we reviewed how to create declarative, interrogative, and negative sentences in the past, present, and future tenses. In the next 3 classes, including this one, you're going to learn about some more new postpositional particles that you will use quite frequently in your daily lives. Before that, let's learn about some vocabulary related to hobbies. Please repeat after me out loud as a memory aid. 도서관, 스키장, 아침, 읽다, 점심, 산, 오후, 2시, 스키, 저녁, 보다, 노크 소리, 덥다, 돌, 걸리다, 길, 눈보라, 일타, 비명소리, 깜짝 놀라다, 우체국, 편지, 붙이다, 산장, 쉬다, 숙소, 맥주. Good job! As you already know, a postpositional particle can be placed right after the noun to help define the preceding word's meaning. For instance, we learned that the particle 에 indicates that the preceding noun indicates the location of an object or a person referred to in the following word, such as in 주방에 히토미가 있어요 or 아람 씨 이 의자에 앉아요. There are other situations where this particle 에 can be used. Actually, its usage can be separated into 4 broad classifications. Location, which you've already learned, direction, time, and cause. Let's examine them one by one. First, direction. The particle 에 at times is used to indicate that the preceding noun refers to a destination or the course of a certain action. In this situation, 에 is often used with verbs such as 가다, 오다, 다니다, 도착하다. Keeping that in mind, let's watch the following video.
히토미는 어제 도서관에 갔어요.
조는 오늘 스키장에 가요.
내일 친구들이 아람이 집에 올 거예요.
로한이 영화관에 올 거예요.
히토미 어제 도서관 갔어요. Even if you were to use this incomplete string of words, Koreans would probably understand the speaker's intent. But to be accurate and minimize any chance of misunderstanding, we can add postpositional particles in their proper places. Hitomi is the subject of the sentence since she is the one who's doing the action of going to the library yesterday, and at the same time we can say that Hitomi is also the topic of the sentence, so let's add 는 or 가 after her name. Next, 도서관. It's the destination where Hitomi went yesterday, so let's add the particle 에 after that word. So the full sentence reads 히토미는 어제 도서관에 갔어요. Good job! Now it's your turn. Please pause the video for a moment, try speaking out loud in Korean, and replay the video to check your answers. 조는 오늘 스키장에 가요. 내일 친구들이 아람이의 집에 올 거예요. Just for your reference, it's okay to omit 의 here because even without it, it's obvious that 아람이 집 is Aram's house. 내일 친구들이 아람이 집에 올 거예요. 로한이 영화관에 올 거예요. Now repeat after me one more time. 히토미는 어제 도서관에 갔어요. 조는 오늘 스키장에 가요. 내일 친구들이 아람이 집에 올 거예요. 로한이 영화관에 올 거예요. Good job! Let's consider another situation where you would need to use the particle 에. Watch the following video and notice what kinds of words are placed right before 에.
히토미는 아침에 책을 읽었어요.
아람이는 카이와 점심에 산에 갔어요.
조는 오후 2시에 스키를 탈 거예요. 로하는 저녁에 영화를 볼 거예요.
아침, 점심, 저녁, 2시. They are all related to time. Yes, the particle at times is used to indicate that the preceding noun refers to the timing of when something happens. Keeping that in mind, please pause the video for a moment and try saying these sentences out loud, one by one in Korean, and replay the video to check your answers. 히토미는 아침에 책을 읽었어요. Here, the linking sound rule you learned in lesson 4 should be applied to the word 읽었어요 as you pronounce it. It isn't 읽었어요, but 읽었어요, since the double final consonant is followed by a vowel, 어. The sound of the first consonant, 리을, is pronounced as the final consonant of 이, and the sound of the second consonant, 기역, is articulated as the initial consonant of the next vowel, 어. So in total, the sound of both 리을 and 기역 are produced as in 읽었어요. Again, don't worry even if you can't remember the rule. Just repeat what you hear in the audio recordings of Korean native speakers as many times as possible. Then, you'll automatically get familiar with those pronunciation-related rules. 아람이는 카이와 점심에 산에 갔어요. Next, to ski in Korean is 스키를 타다, and 2 p.m. is 오후 2시. Yes, the answer should be 조는 오후 2시에 스키를 탈 거예요. Well, you may wonder how to say the time, starting from 1 o'clock to 12 o'clock in Korean. For right now, please refer to this chart, but you'll learn more about this in detail later in the class. Next, 로하는 저녁에 영화를 볼 거예요. Let me give you one more tip about the expressions 아침, 점심, 저녁. In English, you have separate words for morning, the afternoon, the evening, and the words for the meals you have during those times respectively, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But in Korean, we use the same word to refer to both the time period and the associated meal. Koreans use the word 아침 to refer to both the morning period and breakfast, 점심, the afternoon period and the noon meal, and 저녁, the evening period and dinner. You know how to say to eat in Korean, 먹다. Then how would you say I had lunch informally in Korean? 점심을 먹었어요. How about I don't eat breakfast? 저는 아침을 안 먹어요. I won't have dinner today. 저는 오늘 저녁을 안 먹을 거예요. Alright, then please repeat after me. 히토미는 아침에 책을 읽었어요. 아람이는 카이와 점심에 산에 갔어요. 조는 오후 2시에 스키를 탈 거예요. 로하는 저녁에 영화를 볼 거예요. Good job! Now we are going to learn about one more situation where you may need to use the particle 에. While watching the following video, please try to figure out when that might be.
히토미는 노크 소리에 책을 덮었어요. 아람이가 돌에 걸려 넘어졌어요.
조는 눈보라에 길을 잃었어요. 로하는 비명소리에 깜짝 놀랐어요.
In the video, why did Hitomi close her book? Because she heard the sound of knocking. Next, Aram tripped over a stone. In this situation, what did Aram trip over? The stone. In both two situations, what do the words before the particle 에 have in common? They indicate the reason why the event happened. Yes, the particle 에 can indicate that the preceding noun is the cause of the event. Keeping that in mind, please try to say out loud the next two sentences in Korean. 조는 눈보라에 길을 잃었어요. 로하는 비명소리에 깜짝 놀랐어요. Good job! Now repeat after me. 히토미는 노크 소리에 책을 덮었어요. 아람이가 돌에 걸려 넘어졌어요. 조는 눈보라에 길을 잃었어요. 로하는 비명소리에 깜짝 놀랐어요. So far, you've learned the 4 main usages of 에, which will enable you to create a greater variety of Korean sentences. The last particle you're going to learn today is 에서. First, let's watch the following video to see how it's used.
히토미는 우체국에서 편지를 붙였어요.
카이와 아람이는 산장에서 쉬었어요.
조는 숙소에서 맥주를 마셔요.
로하는 영화관에서 팝콘을 먹었어요.
히토미는 우체국에서 편지를 붙였어요. 우체국 comes before the particle 에서. What information are you able to find out about the post office mentioned in this sentence? Yes, it's where Hitomi sent her letter. Now look at the next sentence. 산장 comes before 에서. What other details can you figure out from the sentence? The fact that the 산장 is where Kai and Aram took a rest. Did you figure out when to use the particle 에서? Yes, that's right. 에서 is a particle used to indicate where the action spoken about in the sentence is taking place. Wait a moment. Then what's the difference between the location-related 에 and this 에서? How would you say in Korean, I sat on a chair? 저는 의자에 앉았어요. How about the refrigerator is in the kitchen? 냉장고가 주방에 있어요. Why do we have to use 에 here, not 에서? On the 의자 is the location where I'm sitting. The 주방 is the location where the 냉장고 is located. So 에 is used to tell the listener that the preceding word is indicating where something or someone can be found. Then how would you say I will go home? 집에 갈 거예요. How about 아람 came to Kai's birthday party? 아람이가 카이의 생일 파티에 왔어요. Why 에 instead of 에서 again? It's because 집 and 생일 party are the destinations to which the subjects in the sentences go. Then how would you say Hitomi watched a movie in a theater? 히토미가 영화관에서 영화를 봤어요. Hitomi reads a book in her room. 히토미가 방에서 책을 읽어요. Why are you using 에서, not 에 this time after the place-related nouns? It's because 영화관 and 방 are the locations where Hitomi performed the actions. Does it make sense to you? So to make it clear, when you use the particle 에 after the place-related nouns, it means that the noun refers to either the location of someone or something or the destination of one's journey. When you use the particle 에서 after the place-related nouns, the noun refers to the place where the action in the sentences is taking place. Alright, now try to speak out the following 2 sentences in Korean. 조는 숙소에서 맥주를 마셔요. 로하는 영화관에서 팝콘을 먹었어요. Good job! Before moving on, please repeat after me out loud to become more familiar with these sentences. 히토미는 우체국에서 편지를 붙였어요. 카이와 아람이는 산장에서 쉬었어요. 조는 숙소에서 맥주를 마셔요. 로하는 영화관에서 팝콘을 먹었어요. Great! Now, by solving the questions on page 98, let's review what we've learned today. Number 1. Choose the right picture. 조는 오늘 스키장에 가요. 스키장에 가요. So a ski resort is where John is heading to today. In that case, number 2 best describes the sentence. Next, 아람이는 카이와 점심에 산에 갔어요. 점심에 산에 갔어요. 점심 means the afternoon and 산 is the mountain, so it means that in the afternoon, the mountain is where Aram and Kai went together. So number 4 would be the answer. Now question number 2. Complete the sentence. Choose from the list. This time there are only 2 words in the list. 에, 에서. Apparently, This question is trying to help you learn how to distinguish the difference between the usages of 에 and 에서, right? Let's get started. Number 1. 조는 숙소 맥주를 마셔요. 숙소 is a lodging or an accommodation, and 마시다 is to drink. So 숙소 is the place where John does the action of drinking beer. So 에서 should be used here. 조는 숙소에서 맥주를 마셔요. Number 2. 히토미는 노크 소리, 책을 덮었어요. How is 노크 소리, the sound of knocking, related to her closing the book? Yes, 노크 소리 is the cause that made Hitomi close her book. So the reason-related particle 에 should come here. 히토미는 노크 소리에 책을 덮었어요. Number 3. 아람이는 카이와 점심 산에 갔어요. 점심 is the time when Aram and Kai went to the mountain, so the time-related particle 에 should be used here. 아람이는 카이와 점심에 산에 갔어요. Number 4. 로한이 영화관 올 거예요. The 영화관 is 로한's destination, so the particle related to destinations 에 should be used. 로한이 영화관에 올 거예요. Number 5. 히토미는 우체국 편지를 붙여요. What does 우체국 have to do with 편지를 붙이다? The post office is the place where Hitomi mails out her letter, so it's correct to use the particle 에서 after 우체국. 히토미는 우체국에서 편지를 붙여요. Number 6. 로하는 저녁, 영화를 볼 거예요. 저녁 is the time when 로한 will watch a movie, so 에 should be used. 로하는 저녁에 영화를 볼 거예요. Number 7. 내일 친구들이 아람이 집 올 거예요. Since 아람이 집, Aram's house, will be the destination to which her friends will come, let's fill in the blank with 에. 내일 친구들이 아람이 집에 올 거예요. Lastly, number 8. 히토미는 어제 도서관 갔어요. Again, 도서관 is the place where Hitomi went to yesterday. So let's put 에 here. 히토미는 어제 도서관에 갔어요. Okay, now let me tell you about my personal hobby. 저는 어제 아침에 산에 갔어요. 아침에 날씨가 안 추웠어요. 오후에는 날씨가 더웠어요. 어제 저녁에는 비가 왔어요. 오늘은 날씨가 추워요. 오늘은 산에는 안 갈 거예요. 친구 집에서 라면 먹을 거예요. One thing you may have noticed for the first time in the sentences I used is 에는. It's nothing new. It's actually just the combination of the time-related particle 에 and the topic marking particle 은는. Likewise, when you want to make a phrase like a noun plus a particle a topic of a sentence, it's usually okay to add 은는 after that, like 오후에는 or 산에는. There's no difference in meaning, it just puts slightly more emphasis on 오후에 and 산에. Now it's your turn. Please pause the video for a moment and tell me about your hobbies. What did you do? What do you usually like to do? And what will you do in the future? Let me know in Korean. Again, you don't have to use just the words you learned today. Please use the dictionary to look up the words when necessary and try to make Korean sentences that convey real facts about you. Excellent. Today you learned 3 more usages of the particle 에 and learned a brand new particle, 에서. You also got to practice distinguishing between them. In our next lesson, you're going to learn a few more particles that Koreans use frequently and some expressions you can use when you feel sorry or grateful for something. Then, see you next class. Bye!